everyone, this is Denise Love. Today I thought, still working in the Dina Wakley Media Journal. And I thought we'd do a color palette challenge in the journal. I'm just going to treat this like I'm painting on individual papers. I think that's what my art journal needs to be. You know, sometimes you get started in a journal and you're like, oh, I don't know what direction I want to go. And then, you know, we started off in this one doing a couple pages. We did the great big same color palette on two different backgrounds, and I loved that. And we've done this abstract organic piece next to a stenciled piece on the burlap. I think that's all we've done in here. The days kind of run together on some of these. Oh no, the first one we did, I thought there was another one, was playing and experimenting in some stencil work and then handmade papers and some more stencil work over here, and just kind of not knowing where to go with this layout here. But after you get past the initial, I'm not sure where I'm going with this art journal, you then start to do a couple that you're like, oh, I really liked this thing that I did, and I really liked the abstracts that I did on the next two layouts after I did that initial one. And I thought, that's the direction I need to go. And it doesn't matter to me if this is a book with all the same look or not. It's more of let's just fill up our first one and see just, you know, how we get somewhere on bigger pages, maybe double spreads, and, you know, we may continue working on this for years. Who knows? I mean, my goal is to show up, do a series of videos in the book and just get ideas and accomplish my first big art journal. That's kind of the goal, and you just kind of got to go with the flow. I'm okay if they don't all match. I'm okay if they all look like wild, crazy abstracts. I'm okay if I can't cut stuff up. Because that's not the goal here. Here I'm just trying to play in a new direction that I don't usually go. And so I've pulled a color cube card. I mean, it's a direction I go, but it's a bigger format and in a book form is what I mean. So I'm going to go with color cube 2. As I pulled out a color card, and it was a little bit of a let's just pull the card and see what we get kind of pull. So I did it off camera just in case I didn't like it, and I kind of wanted to find something I like today, but I pulled this one out and I thought, oh, that is very interesting actually. And it looks like the inspiration is a coast off the ocean. So I love this range of greens and teals. And then we've got white here in the middle. And so I kind of pulled out some of my Kuretake watercolors because I haven't had those out in a bit. And so I've pulled out olive green, number 54, 504 green gray, this yummy brighter color 503 cobalt green, and 502 billiard green, and that comes out of the Art Nouveau set, and one of those comes out of the 48 piece set. I'm also, now that I'm looking at it, I'm kind of looking at this coastal inspiration. I feel like we could work a gold in there, so maybe 91 bluish gold, because I feel like that's right here in that part of that photograph, so I'm going to pull that out too. So these are my colors. I'm going to have white might be something that we do on top, might be, who knows. Let's just kind of experiment and see where we get. I'm going to activate these colors and just kind of look at this and think, okay, let's just be happy with wherever we arrive today in our creating. I'm not got any specific thing in mind, except that I want it to do both pages. So that's the goal, 2 pages. Then I might work on top of that. I'm going to pull out maybe my number 2 rosemary mop brush here, and maybe we'll just start with that. And so I don't know, where do we want to go today? Let's just play and see where we end up. Okay, so favorite color out of these are these kind of olivey greens. So let's just go for it. Feeling kind of abstract, organic-y. I'm gonna go ahead and continue it as if there's no fold in the page there. And I'm just gonna paint and see how we get started here. Okay, I think I like where the color is going. I do want to do some maybe laying down of some cardboard, or ooh, how about like some bubble wrap? I've got some bubble wrap over here. Maybe we can get some pattern with some bubble wrap laid down. Gonna set something heavy on that and just see if as it dries we can get some pattern out of that. I also have some random other pattern. This is like the a sleeve of a piece of fruit, I think would probably be what that would be closest to. So maybe we'll put some of that on there. I've got a couple of those. Almost thinking if I cut that up, could I have gotten even more pattern out of that? But let's put this over here too. I might just set these on top of that and see if I can just let those dry for a moment as we are letting those kind of textures hopefully start appearing. And I'm also kind of wanting to do some mark making with some graphite, but now this stuff's kind of in the way, so let me let this stuff kind of do its thing for a moment. We could if we wanted, I mean, we could come through and do some mark making, because you know, any kind of marks that we make in the watercolor while it's wet kind of sinks down into the paper, and I like that. So maybe on these bits that I can still see, let's just get some texture rolling in the paper that looks like something just interesting kind of down there in the background. Okay, I like it. And I ended up loving the green part of that color palette, and then the white naturally was coming through with the papers, and then I thought I just wanted to have like a pop of that teal, so that's how I ended up thinking about those colors. But let's let this dry, and then I'm going to come on top of this with something else. All right, let me move these out of the way. And I think we are basically dry. So let's see if I had enough wetness on the paper to even get any pattern out of any of these. And it's kind of questionable, but this ooh, whoa, look at that. That's so cool. All right, so save any vegetable wrappings that you had. Look at that. Now I kind of wish we could go, those went a little further, but I do like that they're in there. Okay. Total win. These are like things that you find like an apple in or something. So go check those out. Piece of bubble wrap. Oh, look what the bubble wrap did. Oh yeah, that was just a piece of packaging from the mail. Let's just get a closer look and admire some of that texture on there. Come over here and admire what those vegetable sacks did. How cool is that? Okay, that was kind of exciting. So now, underneath that didn't completely dry, so I might dry that for a second real quick. All right, that's pretty cool. And you know, the pages are curled a little bit because we're putting wet paint on dry paper, and this cotty paper really soaks it up like a cloth almost. I kind of want to use a stencil on here, and I want to use one of these Stencil Girl, Stencil Club stencils because I really like this whole long stencil here on the end, and I feel like maybe that could be a fun pattern on the page. So I'm kind of thinking that I'm going to do that maybe here on the edge and just see, you know, where we go today. And I'm just going to use some of these fusion paints that I like to use because it's already got like the right colors already mixed up. These are basically furniture paint, I believe, but I picked out like a lamp white, but I don't even care. I like all kinds of paints. I like milk paint, and this is conservatory. And these little sample pots, this is bayberry, this is Chesler. These little sample pots are really matte in the finish, and they're just beautiful, and I like using them. They may not be easy to get, so use whatever paints that you have on hand when you're playing with your different projects. I'm using what I have, and I'm not trying to. I'm going to kind of mix these up and see if I can get like just a fun range of color. I'm going to dip this on my palette paper too. But you know, I'm just exploring with the tools that I have on hand, and I want you to explore with the tools that you have on hand, whether you've got the same stuff that I've got or not. I'm just wanting to inspire you to get creative and show up and play. And then if you happen to like playing in the things that I like playing in, then that's fantastic, but it's not necessary. It's about really discovering your own tools and how they work and how you can use them and make them work for your art practice, which is what you're generally seeing me do. How do things work for me in my art practice? It's all about discovery and play. Oh, look at this. Oh my gosh. All right, let's just move this down because I kind of want to continue the story here. Ooh, yeah, like right there. Let's just finish this story to the bottom of the page. Look at that. Okay, that's super fun. I kind of want those colors to not look so overlapped there. Okay, that's pretty fun. Let's see. So, do I want to do one over here or just kind of let that be its own little element? I also kind of like these little circles. They could kind of come in from the edge maybe, this little organic thing, or I could leave that on there like it is. I'm going to let that dry for a moment and think about where I want to go. I really like this, and I kind of want there to be something else that matches but is a little different. So maybe over here we could do some of these elements kind of coming in to the piece. See, now I mostly like little stencils, but when you get into a big page, you can definitely see the benefit of having some larger stencils. And now I'm kind of thinking in my Stencil Girls stencil stash of the ones that came that I really liked this one here that kind of looks like a garden at the bottom, and then there's some blocks, and then there's some yummy loops and swirls and fun stuff here. So now I'm kind of thinking, could this come in from the side and be, or maybe I like the garden at the bottom. So this is one of the monthly stencils that they have in their club. So it's not just on their site. You'd have to join the club and then you can buy some of these. But man, I'm kind of digging this right here. And then I could continue the story on down. So you know what? I'm just going to do it. Let me get another sponge. I put that sponge away. And might even clamp this at the top just to hold it still, kinda, maybe. Just at the very tippy top there. Yeah, let's just do it. We're just committing. Don't even worry. Like if it works, it's great. If it doesn't work, it's not a big deal. Oh, but I want it to work because I like it. And you might have your own favorite ways to stencil. I've got stencil brushes, I've got paint brushes. My favorite way to stencil is with a dry sponge. So this is just an art sponge. You can use a makeup sponge, kind of those, maybe those sponges that come with pan pastel. I don't know. I just like these. That's my own preference. Everybody's got their own thing that works for them. And this is what I've decided I like. And I might get a paintbrush at the edges because I kind of actually want that edge. And I love this little let's experiment in a book because now I'm making myself use some of these tools that might not have come out again after I did like an art haul. We might not have seen them again, so perfect way to bring them back out. Let me just grab a little paintbrush and I'm gonna maybe brush the part at the top that I really want to be in there. I didn't want the sponging to be all outside the stencil. So thinking a little paintbrush might be better for this little detail at the top. I want it in there, but I want it to stop at the stencil, not have a fudgy edge outside the stencil. So see, we could use a paintbrush to paint these two. Just experiment with your stuff. That's the goal there. Then I'm going to move this down. Look at that. We're going to dry that and then I'm going to move that stencil down. See, now that's one thing about this Cotty paper that maybe I don't love. It comes off in parts. If something grabs it, like dries and grabs it, it like pulls the whole top layer of that paper off. But with a stencil, it don't matter. We can just fill back in the paint. But it did like pull paper off as a little bit dry, and it just pulled the whole top layer off. So this paper might not be my favorite, but it is what it is in this little book. Let's see how far down we had it. We had it right there. So I'm going to match it up to right there. Alright, I think that's about right. I hope it is because we've just committed. And what I like about this paint is it just dries really super matte, which is my very favorite with paint, is a matte finish. Lots of people don't like a matte finish. It's really just personal preference there. I like everything to be matte. I even like my photography to kind of look a bit matte. So when I process photos, I pull the blacks up so that you don't really have blacks. And I just love that matte finish. So when I paint, I just kind of bring that love right on into my paint. I love it. Figure out the things that you love and then do a lot of that. Ooh. Ooh, there we go. All right, let's see what we got. Nice. All right, I'm gonna set that to the side. Everybody always asks me, do I wash my stencils? No, I do not. I just let them dry. That paint is very thin. I just don't worry about it. Let's see, I'm gonna put the lid on these because they dry out when I leave the lids open. Look how pretty those are though. I feel like we could do a little bit of work on top of these. So I need to make sure this is dry. Now I wish, now that I look at this, I wish I had put this stripe on this side and it could have been like bookending itself with the different elements. And so kind of almost wondering if I bring in a few elements from a direction, if I'll pull that in a little bit or if that'll be too much. So that might be something to think about. when you're putting stuff down. But I really like, I hope these are dry, but I really like when I do stencils to draw on top of them and kind of give them like more dimension to it, like it wasn't just a flat stencil. And so I feel like that's what we're going to do. We're going to draw on top of these. I'm using the Neocolor 2 crayon, so I don't have to worry about sealing the page later, because with the oil pastels and the soft pastels, you definitely have to worry about that. But I like the dimension that you get when you draw on top of a stencil with, say, like another color or a variation of that color, because it makes it pop and looks like it's something that you painted rather than, say, stenciled. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come in and fill these in with some marks. Okay, I've been digging through my stencil box, and I don't know what this is. Let's see if it's got something at the bottom. Oh, Deco Art Americana. So this is a Deco Art Americana 202006. But it looks like, you know, rows of octagonal little patterns, and I thought that might be fun to have those, which is, you know, very similar to the Punchinella dots that I like so much. And I'm almost thinking in a white, or this kind of like a grayish white. I kind of feel like this grayish white. So I could have used my white paint, but I think I'm going to use this stuff. And I kind of feel like maybe some random dots and maybe even coffee stain circles, possibly. I don't know. I just pulled it out because I liked it. It's a Stencil Girl S574. But I kind of like that. I don't know. Let's see. Let's put these dots in here, and then we'll see if that is what I really wanted. These are getting real dry. Some of these dry out pretty good when I just let them sit open here on my table. That's alright. I'm going to use them till they're done, until they're like dried up completely, because I just love them. I could be using all my paints, but my like regular paint, but I just love these, so it is what it is. Alright, let's see what this is. If I got it in there or not. Let's see. That's what I wanted. It's like little pearls dropping down, and it's so light and almost faint, like a real light faint. Is there something there or not? Let me get in closer and see. And that's like the best kind of details, the ones that say get in a little closer so you can figure out, what is that doing? What am I seeing there? I can't tell. I love those delightful little surprises that do that. Let's do a little here on the green. Whoa, look at that. No, I want some over here. Oh, it's the extra little layers that make things, oh yeah, see, that's exactly, it's very faint. You almost can't even see it. I don't even know if it's showing up on camera, but in person I can see them, and they're like a little delightful little, just like rows of little pearls coming down. That I liked. Do we need any little coffee stains now that we did that? I don't know, maybe in the corner down here, just as something coming in. Why not? I'm going to do it in the same white, though I don't necessarily care to be like jumping off the page. Just wiping that off on a rag I got sitting on the side over here. And I'm doing it in this kind of white-ish color because, you know, white was one of our colors on our color palette. So I'm in the family. It's a grayish white, but it's close. Oh, yes! Oh, crazy good. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at that. Okay, now I'm feeling really good about this. It's very subtle. We don't have elements that are not cooperating with each other, I want to almost say, and I almost feel like we could use some writing perhaps. And I found a little writing stencil. Where did I put it? I probably put it back down in this box, but I liked it. Oh yeah, here we go. This one is Bowser Designs, the Crafter's Workshop stencil, and it's called Mini Believe Script. But I liked it because, and you can do your own writing, but it's kind of fun because we can kind of work that in a little bit, and it's going to be kind of like, does that say something? Does it not say something? I don't know. I can't tell kind of feel. And we could use some gold paint. Let's just pull a gold paint. I got one right here. Let's use the golden. Nope, that's titanium white. Let me pull a paint. Iridescent gold deep fine. Let's do that one. I know I always pull my mica paste, so I know I just threw like a little curveball at you, but I thought, let's pull a different paint out for today. Dig into my other gold stuff because, you know, I got plenty of gold. I just never use any of the others besides my favorite. So maybe there's another favorite out there and I just haven't given it a chance. That's kind of what I'm thinking. All right, so let's look at this. I'm kind of feeling like we have a little bit of writing over here. Let's just commit. Don't even worry about it, just commit. And this golden color, gold color is a little different than my other golds. It's a little orangier almost. All right, let's see. Look at that. Okay, that was a good choice. Let's put some right over here. Yes. Okay, I feel like we're making progress here on this lovely piece, and we're going to actually be at a finish point when we're done, I think. Okay, I love that. That's a good one. Maybe we'll have one over here. Yes. I don't want it everywhere, but that little bit almost feels like it's enough. And then you're like, what is that? What is that saying? What do we got going on in there? Okay, good one. Good one. Good one, lovely people. Okay, I like that. And then we just have to evaluate. Are we done today with this? Do we want a little more details, any dots somewhere? Because, you know, little Posca dots are always a good choice. I got a white Posca pen. Do we want any little dots, or do we feel like this is lovely like it is? I'm almost feeling like I want dots, but maybe not this big. Oh yeah, that's a good size, but is it competing with the other dots? I don't think so. I think dots are whimsical. We could put it kind of up here in a place that maybe we're not going to notice it first and then say, oh, yes, I love it, and then keep going. Or it'd be in a place that was kind of nondescript and you could be like, oh, I didn't like that, so then you could stop it. Yes, I like the whimsy of the gold of the white dots. That was a good choice. I don't know how we pulled that one out. Because I was questioning it. Oh, look at that. Ah, pretty. Okay, where else? I want some more. I don't want to be done with the dots yet. I like those. Oh my gosh. All right. I'm feeling really good today about today's painting session. These have turned out even better than I might have expected. I don't even feel like I want to cut them up. They're in a sketchbook. They're in a big, art journal, so it's not like you want to cut that out anyway, but I'm feeling pretty good where I've ended up on these 2 pages. So I think I'm going to call these could be done. I could come back later and maybe work on them some more, but I'm feeling really good about where I ended up today. I hope you enjoy checking out this great big art journal and maybe painting some of these layouts. Doing these videos kind of gives me a reason to show up and actually do the pages rather than buy the book and sit it to the side, never use it. And I used to just do stuff in art journals and get so frustrated and never come back to it. So this is really given me such a good reason to show up and create. And then, as we turn the pages, you can see the different styles that we created on whatever days that we decided to paint. And when we get completely done and we decide to do like a, art flip through, I think we're going to have some amazing things to show off. And I'm getting really excited now that we've done several layouts. And I know there's another layout back here. I'm just going to glance at it again. I love that there's like the very different styles in here, but after doing this page, I got super excited. So it took me a few pages to kind of find my groove and where I wanted to go. And then this page I love. So definitely going to be big abstract pieces, I feel like, in this journal now as we continue to move our way through these different pages. And so I hope you enjoyed painting with me today. If you're working in a great big art journal like this, definitely comment and share some of those layouts in the Facebook group, or you can tag me on Instagram at 2 Little Owls Art. I do link those below the video. And I can't wait to see what you guys create with something like this. I love to see those and be inspired. And if you enjoy watching my content, definitely hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.